Welcome to Maximizer's CRM video tutorials. This video will show you how to work with your contacts in Maximizer. First, we'll cover how to perform basic searches and how to select entries in Maximizer lists. Then we'll show you how to perform some basic tasks with your Maximizer contacts, including sending email, adding notes, and adding to-dos and appointments. Searching for entries. Once you have previously added entries in Maximizer, you can quickly find them using the various search features. Use the Quick Search box at the top of the screen to search by name, phone number, or email address. You can enter only the beginning of the field if you don't know the complete value. Similarly, add an asterisk at the beginning of the search string to search for the end of a field. On the search menu, there are options to search using most of the basic fields in Maximizer. You can specify what type of entries to return with the search. If you already have entries in the list, you can select Narrow List to search within the current list. You can perform much more complicated searches using any fields in Maximizer. For more information, see the Advanced Searches video tutorial. Selecting entries. Once you have a list of entries, you can work with the entries in different ways. When you click on a row, that entry becomes the current entry. The tabs in the following pane update to display information on the current entry. You can use the checkboxes to the left of the rows to select multiple entries. And you can also hold down the Shift key to select all entries between two rows. Select the checkbox at the top of the list to select all entries in the current list. You can select the checkbox again to clear the selection from the entries. You can view how many entries are selected in the title bar. Some of the commands on the menus work with only the current entry, and some of the commands work with all selected entries. For example, with the multiple entries selected, the Write an Email action can send an email to all selected entries at the same time. And you also have the option to send the email to all entries in the current list. The Delete command also works on selected entries, permanently deleting all selected entries from the database. You should be cautious when using the Delete command. The Maximizer administrator can remove delete rights for users to prevent accidental deletions. Sending email to Maximizer entries. Let's try sending an email message to a contact. First, click on the contact in the address book list. You can find the Write an Email command from a number of places in Maximizer, including the Actions menu and the Right-click menu. In the Details pane, you can also click an entry's email address to compose an email. Use the Send Email dialog box to compose the email message. It has similar features to other familiar email applications. Click the Attach icon to attach documents to the email. Depending on your preferences, a note may be logged with the contact when the email is sent. You can also save a copy of the email as a document with the entry, including the attachment. When you're finished writing the email, click Send. In the History tab, you can view the email and the logged note. And here's the attachment. Adding notes to Maximizer entries. You can add notes to track your impressions of a prospect, summarize contracts and business agreements, or record any other interactions you have with your contacts. Let's try adding a note to an entry. First, select the entry in the main list. In the History pane, you can view all notes and documents added to the entry. Type in the text box to add a new note. Click Submit to save the note. You can also add a note from the Notes tab and from the Details tab. On the right side of the Details tab, select Add a Note. Here you can add formatting and hyperlinks to your note, and you can specify who has access to the note. Click OK to save the note. Adding tasks for Maximizer entries. Use the hot list to help you remember and track the tasks you need to complete. Let's try adding a hot list task associated with an entry. Select the entry in the main list. You can schedule a task from many places in Maximizer, including the Actions menu, the right-click menu, the Details tab, and the Activities tab. On the right side of the Details tab, select Schedule a To-Do. Specify the date for the task. Set an alarm to remind you when the activity is due. And summarize the activity. When you've finished, click OK. In the Activities tab, you can view tasks and appointments scheduled with the current entry. Click the Refresh button to update the list with all recent changes. Here's the new task attached to the entry. Adding appointments with Maximizer entries. Use calendar appointments to keep track of your meetings and appointments. Let's try adding an appointment with a contact. First, select the entry in the main list. As with Hotlist tasks, you can schedule an appointment from many places in Maximizer. From the Actions menu, select Schedule a Meeting. Enter a subject for the meeting and select a date and time for the meeting. There are many additional options for appointments. You can set alarms and reminders for the meeting and select a location for the meeting. When you're finished, click Save. Depending on your preferences, you may be prompted to send email notification for the appointment. The appointment attendees are added to the email. You can view all of your appointments in the calendar page. Here's the new appointment. For information on more features in the Maximizer calendar, see the Calendar and Appointments video tutorial. Thank you for using Maximizer's CRM video tutorials. For further information, visit www.maximizer.com